Hello, welcome to Geeko, the program put together to bring you up to speed on latest science, technology, health-related issues and trends, helping you make informed decisions while seeking out new perspectives and untold angles. I'm your host, Precious David Ogaga, and this week, as always, we have so many exciting features for you, and this is me saying don't go anywhere, we will be right back.
In 2004, Canadian researchers unveiled a prototype battery made from cellulose, a natural material derived from tree pulp. The battery is fully biodegradable, dissolving in soil within weeks without releasing toxic chemicals. It's designed for low-power electronics such as environmental sensors, wearable devices, and short-term medical implants. The innovation aims to reduce the growing concern of electronic waste, which currently produces millions of toxic landfill every year. By using renewable materials, the project demonstrates how sustainable design can replace harmful battery technology in certain applications. In Norway, engineers have created innovative floating solar islands that track the sun's movement to significantly boost energy efficiency, even in a cold and often cloudy climate. Placed on lakes and fjords, these rotating platforms maximize energy capture while benefiting from the cold, which naturally improves solar panel performance. This technology not only saves valuable land space and is built to withstand harsh weather, but also uses the water for cooling and to reduce algae growth, setting a new standard for adapting sustainable energy solutions to challenging environments. On World Mosquito Day 2025, health officials warned that Europe is entering a new normal of longer and stronger mosquito-borne disease outbreaks. Rising temperatures and shifting weather has fueled record cases of West Nile virus and chikungunya across the continent. Globally, dengue hit a record 40 million cases in 2024, while malaria still kills nearly 600,000 people yearly. Experts say prevention is key. Use repellent, wear long sleeves, and protect homes with nets or screens. On May 31, 2025, a patient in China suffered one of the most extreme accidents ever. A robotic arm nearly beheaded him, leaving severe cervical vertebrae, damaged nerves, instant paralysis, and even a heart attack, according to South China Morning Post. Both vertebral arteries were blocked from massive bleeding, causing life-threatening low blood pressure. On June 18, at Shenzhen Hospital, Dr. Chen Hongyang led a groundbreaking 3-hour surgery. His team removed blood clots and realigned the broken cervical structures using special plates, something never done before in such cases. Against all odds, the patient survived. He has regained consciousness, can now sit with help, and move his arms and shoulders. No similar survival case has ever been recorded in medical history. China recently hosted the inaugural World Humanoid Robot Games in Beijing from August 15 to 17, 2025, marking the first ever multi-sport competition exclusively for humanoid robots. More than 500 robots from approximately 280 teams representing 16 countries took the stage in a diverse array of events, including soccer matches, sprinting races, dance performances, martial arts demonstration, and real-world scenario challenges like medicine sorting and logistics. Hosted in iconic venues as the National Speed Skating Oval and Bethesda Stadium. Despite moments of impressive agility and coordination, such as robotic goals and autonomous recovery from falls, the event was also defined by frequent malfunctions, humorous stumbles, and awkward moments, underscoring the current limitations of humanoid robotics, even as organizers and researchers lauded these real trials as valuable data for improving AI and embodied intelligence. What is immersive media? It's real life as we know. It's made better with a swipe, tap, or click. It's a computer-generated simulation of reality that can make a person feel as if he is present in a virtual environment. Immersive media can help businesses identify potential problems and provide training with lowered risk. For example, designers and engineers can use virtual reality to inspect cars before they go on the market. With the use of immersive media, trainings can be made more realistic, allowing workers to be better prepared when faced with this scenario. This helps workers stay safe at their jobs. At home, augmented reality enables us to visualize how a sofa will look like in your living room, even before buying it. No more worrying about spending a large amount of items that do not fit or match. This helps to save multiple trips to the furniture store. With immersive media, we can reimagine the world and how we play apartment. The best part, it's technology that expands our possibilities.
Thank you for staying with us on this week's episode, and I have Dr. Eferi Tamara Denfa with us. He's a medical doctor and a digital health expert, and today we'll be looking at immersive technologies. Dr. Eferi, what is immersive technologies?
Immersive technology is popularly referred to as virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality under the umbrella extended reality technologies. A lot of us must have heard about immersive technologies as another terminology used by the popular brand Apple called spatial computing. It involves superimposing us with beautiful computer-generated images in our worlds. The immersive technology system covers for three broad parts, right? So we have the virtual reality system, we have the augmented reality system, and we have the mixed reality system.
We know most people use virtual reality for gaming. We talked about that. Are there other use cases, and how does it apply?
Beyond the scope of the use of extended reality in gaming, there is a lot of use cases of this amazing technology, and I'm going to be talking about some today, vis-a-vis the use of this extended reality in education and also in healthcare. Those are two areas where I personally love the use of this application. As a medical doctor, we get to learn in our classrooms and we practice anatomy on dead bodies. But beyond that, we also get to work with real human patients. Virtual reality allows us to practice medical procedures and then also carry out advanced levels in surgery before interacting with a real world patient at the first time.
Dr. Eferi, yeah, you've talked a lot about it, but can you just show us a practical example how this is done?
I'll be sharing with us what a virtual reality looks like. There are different companies out there making the hardware infrastructure for these technologies, and one of them is Meta. So this right here is a Meta Quest 2, right? And then there is the Meta Quest 3, and then there's a Meta Quest S. So getting started with a virtual reality headset, you need to firstly create a guidance system. Now that guidance system helps us in our VR world. This is a full virtual reality experience. So the guidance system helps us not to accidentally hit objects while we are moving in the VR space. So we start by defining the ground frame. Then you set your ground frame. Then you would also now draw the boundaries. Now, as you can see before me, there are some stationary tables here and also a roll-up banner. So in drawing my guidance system, I'm going to be careful not to include those in my guidance system. As you can see from the screen, this is the anatomy of the human heart. So in our secondary schools, in the university as a medical doctor, I got to learn about the human heart with the components, the atriums, the right and the left atriums, and the right and the left ventricle, right? But with virtual reality, you will not only just hear about the human heart, but then you will experience it. You will see how the muscles of the heart contract. You will see the force of the contraction. You would experience all of it. You would see where the human aorta is. So I can see all the way back into the heart. And if you can hear the sound, you will hear the sound of the heart and the heart muscles beating. Now, this is just one demonstration. And then we also have demonstrations where healthcare professionals and also healthcare students can practice surgical skill sets. There's a popular saying that what you hear, you retain a bit, but what you see and hear, you retain more. But virtual reality, beyond seeing and hearing, allows for us to experience learning. So it provides for us a new form of learning called immersive learning, which is a game changer in education and also a game changer in healthcare, because it will allow doctors and other healthcare professionals to practice any form of medical procedure, not first on the patient, but on a virtual model. Now, studies have shown that most professionals who first practice on a virtual model have more chances of success than those who do not. So it allows us to fail safely. It allows us to practice complex medical emergencies, which would not have been possible without the aid of this technology.
Okay, Dr. Eferi, how do we use this practically in education, in medicine, and I think in journalism it's also being used.
This is really where it gets more interesting. In the year 2016, I was firstly exposed to virtual reality technology, and the first use case I saw was in journalism. So a journalist from the US put up this story at TED where she went to a war zone, and in the war zone, she captured all of the experiences in VR. And then rather than share the story, she allowed the audience to experience the crisis and the war going on in the particular place. VR also has more use cases beyond education and healthcare. In the aviation industry, it allows for pilots to simulate flight operations and other things. You know, in construction industry, VR and mixed reality and augmented reality allows for practicing complex engineering processes. And then beyond that, augmented reality can allow for newbies to just know what exactly they see. So these controllers will allow me to point at the visual model of the heart, which you would also be seeing a video representation while you are taking this. And then in looking at it, you would see like the various parts of the heart being labeled. So when you point here, you say, oh, this is the ventricle, this is the atrium, this is the blood vessel at this particular point. And then it can model complex disease processes. And then we know in Nigeria, lots of persons have poor seeking behaviors. We know in Nigeria, people do not take medications for diverse reasons. But using virtual augmented reality, we can explain rather to these individuals what the implication is when they are not compliant on their probably antihypertensive medication on a long time. They can now see, oh, so this is the long-term effect of how the blood vessels get constricted. And then that forms an important memory and helps them make healthy and lifestyle modification. So the list goes on and on and on.
Immersive technologies, comprising of virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality, are amongst the fastest growing and fascinating technologies today. So what is immersive technology? To put it in a nutshell, immersive technologies create or extend reality, and that is done by immersing the user in a digital environment, having applications in different domains. This technology is gaining momentum with every passing day and are transforming and helping us reimagine the future. Let's start with virtual reality. Virtual reality uses VR headsets to create a simulated environment and helps an individual to immerse itself into an experience an entirely different reality. However, the historical journey of virtual reality began back in the 1800s. This marvelous idea has been evolving from the time practical photography came into existence. Morton Herling invented the first VR device called Sensorama in 1957. His multimedia device, the Sensorama, is considered one of the earliest VR systems. However, the term virtual reality was coined later by Jerome Lanier in 1987 during his intense research on this evolving technology. A lot of companies are investing billions of dollars in the VR sector. Some of the best VR products are Oculus Quest, Nintendo Labo VR Kit, Sony PlayStation VR, Lenovo Mirage, and many more. These gadgets enable an individual to immerse in a digital environment to experience a world which is different from reality. You might think VR is all about gaming, isn't it? But the potential of VR doesn't stop there. It is revolutionizing many other industries like education, military, medicine, and sports, to name a few. Here are some examples of VR in real life. Class VR is an innovative new concept in the educational industry which uses VR tech to raise the engagement and knowledge retention for students of all ages. Class VR uses VR headsets with a user-friendly interface for both students and teachers, gesture controls, and embedded educational resources. Facebook came up with a new idea called Facebook Horizon, which is an ever-expanding VR community where you can explore, play, and create. It helps you to defy physics and reality and experience the impossible. And we also have VR 360, which is a 360-degree audio-visual simulation. It allows the user to look around in any direction, just like how they look and observe things in real life. You can experience anything from standing on top of a pyramid to enjoying tomorrow and sitting at home. Isn't that wonderful? Next up is AR, Augmented reality. Augmented reality is a technology that projects computer-generated augmentations on top of reality, helping us perform tasks better and efficiently. AR, which falls in between reality and virtual reality, is a method used to render real-world data and present it intuitively so that virtual elements resemble the present reality to an extent. Augmented reality has seen raging in popularity over the past few years, and the revolution is not stopping anytime soon. AR is giving brands the power to provide their customers with unique experiences that can prove to be the difference between purchase and dropout. Let's have a quick look at the history of AR. So you might think that AR is a new technology. Well, on the contrary, it had been around for numerous decades. Ivan Sutherland developed the first AR gadget called Sword of Democracy during 1968. This system used computer graphics to show users simple wireframe drawings. From Pokemon Go to training future surgeons, augmented reality is starting to infiltrate many industries of our society today. But what exactly is augmented reality? Looking into the most popular applications of AR, first up, we have location-based AR apps like Google Maps, which place digital directions on top of the real world and shows you where to walk. Next, we have Google Lens. It's another application that enhances the search experience. With Google Lens, you don't have to type your query anymore. You just open the app and aim it at what you want to learn about. Google Lens will identify the object and give you all the essential details about it. Then we have the snapshot filters. These are one of the best examples of AR, and as you know, Snapchat has become a trend among the younger generations. Even Facebook has planned to build AR glasses to create 3D maps of the world. If you're still skeptical about AR, check out what Mark Zuckerberg has to say about AR.
So that's why I'm so excited about augmented reality, because it's going to make it so that we can create all kinds of things that until today have only been possible in the digital world, and we're going to be able to interact with them and explore them together.
Next in this line of immersive technology is MR. If virtual reality and augmented reality impressed you, get ready for the best of both worlds that is mixed with MR. Mixed reality is all about blending the real world with virtual reality. Unlike augmented reality, users can interact with virtual objects in mixed reality, what was nearly impossible a few years ago and was limited to our imaginations, like interacting with your favorite Marvel superhero, is now possible because of MR technology. Does it seem similar to AR? Well, you can call it AR 2.0. MR is still in its early stage, and it will take a while for it to reach the consumers. However, the investment in MR and AR is expected to reach billions of dollars over and over the years, and the future of MR is not so distant. MR's applications are vast, and its main uses are in the field of education, training, sport, healthcare, space missions, and even construction. Though many use cases are in the testing phase, this idea isn't far-fetched by any means. The best example of MR is the Microsoft HoloLens, which is just a pair of MR smart glasses. It allows you to experience 3D holograms that melt seamlessly into the real environment. You can interact with these augmentations using bare hands and get all the information you need. Let's hear what Alex Kittman, the designer behind HoloLens, thinks about mixed reality.
In the real world, we're finding great success in mixed reality, from education to healthcare to manufacturing, which is what you see a lot of the cases happening here.
So here's a quick recap of what we've known so far. So augmented reality adds digital elements to a live environment, while virtual reality implies a complete immersive experience that shuts out the physical world. On the other hand, a mixed reality experience combines elements of both AR and VR, where you can interact with both the real world and the digital elements. Immersive technologies are quickly becoming a part of our daily lives, and they are here to stay, not only enhancing human experiences, but helping brands market their products effectively and successfully to attract their target audiences. From gaming to buying furniture, immersive technologies are taking the world by storm.
We're speaking with Dr. Tamara Daye-Faifiri. He's a medical doctor by profession, but he's so interested in passing out this knowledge of virtual reality in schools, in practice of healthcare, especially in education. And so we've had the whole practical experience. He's talked a lot about this technology, but I want to, before we go out of the program today, I want him to just tell us two basic things. One, where does he see Nigeria in the next couple of years in terms of virtual reality, using it in schools and healthcare practice, which his concern is, even though it's something you can apply in any field of study. That's one. Then two, what's the possibility that we can get these things to even the minute areas in the country? Because most times when this technology comes around, you get them in high-brow areas and cities and medical facilities that are top-notch, but we still have issues to access of basic healthcare. So if we get this, that's going to help us close maternal mortality rate, easy access to education, is there a possibility we can get this to the lowest level of the community?
Where I see Nigeria in the next 5 to 10 years with the adoption of virtual reality, I cannot give a very certain solid projection, but then I can say that Nigeria is blessed. We are blessed with lots of great human capacity. We are blessed with lots of talents. One thing to note, although virtual augmented mixed reality is not a new technology, right? Okay. The technology has become more rapid and known with the help of advancements in computing. So I would call that accelerated computing, which has allowed for better graphics to be made and then making this thing better than before, and also the advancements of artificial intelligence. So VRO is not particularly new, but then I would also say VRO is new to our clients. Yeah. So once you want to have something which is considered new, you need to first of all do the groundwork of creating the awareness of the use case. So before the adoption, before we can think about where it will be projected to its use in Nigeria, we would need to understudy some particular challenges that comes with the use. So there's what they call like a culture shock, right? A culture shock is what you experience when you are transitioning from one particular culture to another. So in our today's climate, we are used to experiencing things on our mobile devices. We're used to experiencing things on television, and then a physical form of learning. Even as exposed and as advanced the United States were, they had a bit of challenge adopting the same technology in education, not in healthcare primarily, because there were concerns for teachers like, oh, so if I have like an AI model who is doing my teaching, will this not replace my job? But then it's not actually. And those concerns are primarily valid. So there's that human cultural element of, oh, I have to wear this headset. Oh, this thing is heavy. Oh, it's good, but then would I really like it? And then all of those things would be sorted out with lots of awareness programs, lots of education, lots of getting people to see what the value is of this technology as regards healthcare, as regards how our education system can be improved. He said something about how it would help reduce maternal mortality. That's a very, very solid point of a secondary use case of what utilizing this form of technology we have on our nation's healthcare system, on our nation's educational systems, and vice versa. So I would answer the question looking at these challenges and these hurdles we would have to clear, right? So even if we want to adopt it in technologies, the company that made some of the products that you use are currently in talks with some universities. I do a lot of study, in tech and in healthcare, and then I see colleagues of mine working at Google. So technology is changing the way we do a lot of things. Doctors work at Google. The big fives, they have a place for healthcare.
So Doc, I know this conversation will not come to an end. So on the final note, what are you going to leave us with today? Yeah, because I know this is going to be very long conversations. Okay. We know the hurdles in this country.
Rapid rate of technological advancements, which I think beyond healthcare professionals, something everybody needs to know. People would be forced to pay attention. Yeah. And then with the early adopters pushing for it, yes, people would start, so I feel I'm positive. I would want to be positive because this is my niche. Yeah. I'm a digital health innovator and a digital health expert. I feel like there will be adoption over time. In this part of tech, the infrastructure, it's solid and up to date, and the incentive for building is fast. So if you want to get in, you want to get in early. I volunteer for an organization called Medics in Tech. So far, they have trained over 2,000 health professionals, and then there are guys that are silently building stuff. In Nigeria, I'm more of a person in Kaduna that are building a virtual reality product that will help as a system to navigate, that will just give like audio navigation for blind people using the same VR that I just tried out today. Wow.
Thank you so much. We'll be speaking with Dr. Tamara Denyifa Efiri. It's been a lot of conversation around virtual reality, especially in the use of in healthcare and then education. Of course, it's not a conversation we can complete today. I'm very sure we'll get him some other time, but thank you for staying true with us. And till we come your way another time, I'm Precious Gaga, and thank you, Doctor, for your time with us on the program. And that'll be all for today, folks. See you next week.